It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj.
Hey, Lowco sports fans, no Wes tonight. He's taking the night off, but you got me and you got Max and you got Javon Livingston going to stop by in a little bit and tell us what all he's been up to, what he's seen out on the beat for Beaufort's own. I know he had May River girls soccer tonight. I know they had a convincing lead over Beaufort early. I don't know what the final ended up being, but we'll check out the highlights here in a little bit from Javon and hear more about it from him. But Maxie, you doing all right, buddy? You're all decked out in Canes gear. You had a road game tonight, took an L, but growth, progress.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, it was a good day. It was, despite the loss, it was a really good day for the Hurricanes baseball program. We had a good game. We shut them down late in the game and tried to extend it as long as we could, see if we could score some more runs. But it just didn't go our way tonight. But I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more success on Thursday because we're playing the same team out of Groves High School on Thursday out in the Ville. And we're going to be ready to go. This team has grown so much since even the first game a few weeks back against Beaufort Academy. And I really do like the way our program and our team is heading as the season continues. And we got a lot of work to do, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, rough night for us last night too. Started on our road trip to Hampton. Started with the bus blown a tire on I-95. So that was quite eventful. We got to sit on this side of I-95 for about 20 minutes while the second bus came to scoop us up. Shout out to Misa B. Trollin's church, Kingdom Touch Ministries, providing the travel service for us this spring. After we didn't get a bus for our first trip, we decided to contract with them. They were great. I mean, there's nothing you can do about a tire blowing out on the highway, right? Like our kids were freaking out, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like it just happens. My man did a great job of keeping us, on the road and on four wheels. Because it's a challenge when you're going at full speed and you blow a tire. He was able to get us off to the side of the road, get us off to safety, and they got us a new bus, and we got there in time to start the game on time. Really, we didn't have much time to warm up, but that kind of threw the game day vibes off a little bit. And then also first road trip for us, so first time that our pitchers had thrown off of any other mound. We still call it a mound, even though it's not really a mound in softball. First time they had thrown off any other mound ever. And so they had a tough time making the adjustment. It had a little deeper hole, a little steeper incline to it, and they just couldn't get their footing comfortable. Yeah. So we walked a ton of people, not as many as they're walking. We're not as many as they're walking tonight up in Lake Marion. We checked in on this. We were talking about this before we went live. Whale Branch has added a field goal now. They lead 27-24 in the top of the sixth. And Lake Marion has issued 33 free passes, walks and hit by pitches combined, while Whale Branch has issued 32 free passes. So it's similar to what we had going on last night, but on a little bit larger scale because they played more innings. I'm looking forward to getting into one of these football score softball games one of these days. We're gonna find our way into one of these days when we get a competitive matchup where the run rule doesn't come into play. We just get to keep playing, and it's gonna be wild. I think we're going on 3.5 hours for this game now. Poor Coach Reed from Whale Branch is going through it tonight, but let's see if his team can hang on to this now 4-run lead. And they've now got 4 touchdowns on the board, 28-24. Up in Santee, still playing deep into the night. High school softball is the craziest thing at the lower levels, man. I'm telling you. There's only one way off the field, and that's 3 outs, and they are not easy to come by if you don't have an experienced pitcher.
Yeah, I will say this. There was another
even the strikeouts, you drop that third strike, and it's an adventure to get him out.
I will say there is another close game that took place tonight, but a bit less scoring game than that one. Hillnick Christian Academy baseball took a tough loss tonight as they lost 2-1 over the Swamp Cats. the Swamp
The Swamp
Cats
Cats. That's a
out
great
of
name.
Lawrence Manning. But sounds like it was a really good game between the two. I'll have to talk to Jay Scarborough and see give me the rundown of how it went down tonight. And
I'm about to put together a tournament for all of us poor softball teams
golly, man,
just
telling you,
need a competitive game. We'll invite Whale Branch, Lake Marion, Hilton Head Prep, Hilton Head Christian, us. I'm trying to think who else is just needs to play competitive games because there's just
right,
nobody. There's a few of us on this one level that nobody else is on, and it's hard to get good quality reps. But I do think we're close to getting Hilton Head Prep to bring their first year program out to the Ville at least maybe two or
nice,
three or four times. We may make a whole series out of it because we both just need to play somebody that's on our level, so that we can get some good
right,
competition in. But Hilton Head Christian's coming out too, so I'm excited about the growth of the sport here. I mean, it has to go through these growing pains, and JP2 is going through the same growing pains with their new lacrosse team. I know they got drubbed by Beaufort last night, but they put a team on the field, and we keep telling our kids you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And we are wherever we are, but we're still
and
going to keep working to get where we want to go.
so is JP2's boys lacrosse team as well. They've had a bit of a
Right, that's what
struggle
I
this
was talking
season as
about.
well.
They got
Yeah,
trounced last night, but they're
I got a
playing,
good friend of
and
yeah,
HHCA kind of went through it last year too. But that's what you have to do to get a new program off the ground. You have to show them what it looks like, and then try to emulate it. So, kudos to all the coaches and kids who are out there. I mean, we talked about it with Cross's football team too, and for a couple of years there, Hilton Head Prep's football team to some degree. You had kids
yeah,
just pouring their heart and soul out for no return in terms of wins and team success, and that's a hard thing, but we got to show respect to those kids. And then when we
yeah.
get something like Whale Branch and Lake Marion in a high scoring shootout, we got to give it some love
Well,
because there's going to be some crazy stat lines coming out of that one.
speaking of boys lacrosse, I was talking with one of them, well, one of the players for JP2 boys lacrosse the other day, Aiden Winslow, a good friend of mine. Known him for a couple years now, and just wanted to ask him like how's the program going. And he's like, it's going good. We got a lot of work to do, but we're definitely
Yeah,
getting there. So good
yeah,
sign to see out of because that's a growing sport too in this area. That sport has grown a lot in this area in both men's and women's lacrosse, and it's really fun to see the private schools getting their part in lacrosse now here in the Low Country.
yeah, no doubt about it. Both of those sports right now, lacrosse and softball, are definitely blowing up in the area. And I think volleyball has already kind of had its moment. Um, and baseball, obviously, soccer. We've kind of been on the up and up for a while, but more and more sports filter in this way. Speaking of lacrosse, and I don't have it in front of me, but I know that Kieran McCardle is doing another big lacrosse camp this summer for introduction to the sport. It may be free. I'm not positive about that. I'm sure it's low cost. It's through the rec, and he's done so much great work to introduce that sport to this area and try to level it up. And he's doing a lot with the travel team, trying to coach up the elite kids, but then also doing a lot of introductory stuff for newcomers to the sport. And I love the way he's building this thing and trying to make lacrosse a thing here because we have so many kids here, and you just don't know what you're going to be good at until you try a few things. And I just think opportunity is wonderful, and the opportunity to train to be the best you can be at anything, no matter what it is an
Right,
outstanding thing for
right,
kids. So
exactly. Yeah. Well,
music, art, whatever.
yeah. Well, I do have another score that took place last night between May River and Bluffton softball. May River
Yeah,
getting a big time win, 18-0 over Bluffton. That's a growing program in Bluffton right now. They're a young program, but
yeah,
they're definitely on their way up the ladder. They're getting better
yeah.
each day. It's very
They're going to get a
very
huge influx of kids from Bluffton Middle next year that
yeah.
are going to help them
But on the
take a
other
big
hand,
step forward.
that May River softball team keeps being more and more dangerous as each game goes by. They are a scary good team to watch, and anyone in the lower state area is watching that team right now saying, if we have to play them in playoffs, boy, it's going to be a tough game no matter what.
Oh boy, I got some video rolling in. We'll get to it in just a minute, but and we'll also get to some more scores that I've compiled from the last couple of days. But some interesting video rolling in that you'll want to see, Max. Should be fun. But the show tonight presented by Mickelson Law Firm, as always, our presenting sponsor of the LowcoSports Lowdown, our all-star sponsor, our original sponsor. They've been with us since the beginning. First ones to jump on board back in 2017 and still rolling with us. We appreciate Mickelson Law Firm for all their support. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And I mentioned that because I teased some video. We have some Hilton Head Christian video. You mentioned the loss to Lawrence Manning for baseball tonight. I'm going to mute the audio because God knows what got said after this call. But this is how the game ended, I'm told. Called him safe for obstruction.
Huh?
I'm told he was called
No.
safe for obstruction, that the pitcher, I guess, was blocking the plate before he received the ball, but no way. Not a chance.
No.
Not a
No.
chance.
That is
No
terrible.
way.
That's horrible.
Rough.
He had to go and
That's
grab the
somebody.
ball. The ball was out of his reach. He had to
He
go
was
and
running to the plate.
he was
Yeah, no
behind the
way.
plate too.
He was not blocking at all. We had the
same thing take place on Saturday when Hardyville took on St. Andrews, but in a different way because the catcher was in front of the plate the entire time, and our player slid feet first into the plate.
And was injured.
And got injured because of it, because his knee hit up against the catcher's shin guards. And
well, it's also that's why the rules in place for the catcher, not like it's different when it's the pitcher coming to cover. What's he supposed to do? Where's he supposed to go?
I don't know, but he had to go and grab the ball because the ball was out of his range.
He had to go to where the ball was. He's entitled to the ball.
He's entitled to be in front of the plate. That's a horrible call.
I saw a similar one, different but similar this weekend, where they called a girl safe at the plate because they were blocking the plate. But she went more than 3 feet out and around, like way more. And you only get 3 feet either side. And also, it was a rundown. So the rundown takes place in the baseline. Where else could the person be standing to receive the ball? So that's why you get 3 feet to either side to go around them. But she went like 8 feet around, and he called her safe. I'm like, no, dude, 3 feet.
I don't mean to.
You don't get to just go on walkabout.
I don't want to call umpires out as a whole, but
no.
You need to know.
We just got to use a little.
They gotta.
Well, and I think it gets hard when you get like points of emphasis and stuff like that happening, and so it's like, well, they told us to call this. Well, yeah, but when it happens, not make up situations to call it. I
still think that's just very, very stupid. I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Oh man, I don't like that at all. The play was the play.
Either.
But on a happier note, HHCA boys soccer with a shootout win tonight. It was 0-0 through regulation, and then they went to the shootout. And our guy Ian Kelly with a couple of big shootout saves here. Maybe we should mute the audio just in case. There he is, making himself big, doing the bear dance. Bear dance, bear dance. Here it comes. Oh, denied. No. And then he had to make one other one to seal it. Oh, yeah. Eagles win. Ooh, Eagles win. I can't tell if he deflected it slightly or if he just flat missed it. It's really hard to tell from this video. Oh, he got a piece of it, I think. I think he got it with the paw. Knocked it out. Yeah, good work. Ian Kelly, going to go kick in college. playing goalie this year after playing out in the field most of his career, bringing home a big dub tonight for Hilton Head Christian boys soccer. They're having a solid year, right?
Yeah, from what I've been told, they're having a good year. Like probably a deep playoff run could be in the works for that Helmet Christian team. I mean, they got for the last few years or so, they've always had a solid soccer program, but over the last couple of years, I guess they haven't been as solid. But from what I'm hearing this year, they have a solid chance of making a at least state semifinals, possibly a state title game.
Okay.
But you know
Well,
what's
Hilton Head Prep Soccer is cooking. They're
yes, they
cooking.
are.
They beat Thomas Sumter tonight 7-1 after beating Coastal Homeschool 6-1 last
We
night. They
are.
won 4 in a
I
row.
will say this:
They
we
beat
are
a
trying.
pretty good Ridgeland team and a pretty good Beaufort Academy team real bad. So they're
Yeah,
solid.
we are trying. I am trying to get Lucas O'Grady to hop onto the show one night with us because we really do
Yeah.
want to talk with him about it. Because that's a huge turnaround if they continue their winning ways. That's a big turnaround for that varsity program, and it's really great. I'm really happy with what he's been doing, and I cannot wait to see him continue to do the good work that he's doing with that Hilton prep program. I mean, they really, and since he stepped in, they have really turned it around this season and has caught a lot of surprising eyes and stuff like
Yeah.
that from around the low country.
Yeah, they're looking good. I'm glad to see it. They were a really strong program for a long time and had just kind of fallen off and didn't have a lot of guys interested in soccer over there. Girls have been good, but guys are on the comeback trail with a local product at the helm. We love to see that. Colleton County softball still rolling. They smoked Bluffton on Friday. Beat Branchville's a good 1A program. Beat them last night handily, so they are undefeated, looking good over there. Um, I know that Colleton Prep got a couple wins last night as well against that fledgling Hilton Head Prep program. Going back to Saturday, because we left you on Friday night, UICB softball had a huge sweep over the weekend, taking down Augusta. They won 2 one-run games on Saturday and then won 6-4 on Sunday. So that launches them up a couple spots in the Peach Belt Conference standings. They're into the top 8 where they would get into the tournament now. And we will just no, I am not a SCAD graduate, but my wife was employed there for 17 years and got me this sweatshirt at some point during that tenure. And it's a good sweatshirt, so I wear it frequently. No, I rep lots of squads. My Mizzou Tigers know where my heart lies. I rep the Sand Sharks as well, but we never played them. It's all good. We're not going to play SCAD and nothing. Maybe like women's golf or something, and they'd probably beat us, but who cares? Um, you know, I love my sweatshirt, red hooded sweatshirt, shamalama ding dong. I was gonna send the link to Javon Livingston. If I didn't already, I did. Uh, yeah, Kevin Libby knows how to push my buttons. Some other scores from Saturday: boys lacrosse, St. James beat Bluffton 10-3. Philip Simmons beat Beaufort 13-8. Baseball, your Hardyville Canes took the L to St. Andrews 18-1. But your Hilton Head Sharks won big, 43-0
Yeah,
over Carolina Wolves. Semi-pro football. If you can't get enough football, we do have semi-pro football here in the spring, and Max is hosting the new Hilton Head Sharks Central coaches show that we're doing every week
yeah,
after their games, and it's been fun because those guys are passionate. They love it. It's purely for love of the game, and it's been cool to give them an outlet where they can kind of break down the game and brag a little bit and poke a little fun at each other and just see their personalities and the guys who make this team what it is. It's pretty cool.
yeah. Absolutely. I absolutely love doing this show, and we've only done two episodes of it, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And the crazy thing is, not many people knew that. Hey, there's a semi-pro football team right here in the Low Country. You know, not many people know that.
That is crazy. You're right. And to that point, I was talking about it on in class the other day, and even some of our football players were like, "Who are the Hilton Head Sharks?" And I'm like, "Oh, like this is the thing. It's been around for a while. Guys who miss playing football, go play some more football. And so, they thought that was kind of cool. Something that they might do some
It's great,
day down the road. So,
and they got a
I
they got
mean, it's just like
yeah,
the baseball men's league and dudes who go
right,
play slow pitch softball or getting into tennis or golf and playing with your friends. It takes a little different kind of mentality to want to go and play football at a advanced age.
right,
But it's just dudes getting together and doing what they love with their friends at the end of the day, and trying to be part of something bigger than themselves and just have one last run. So I support them,
right.
man. I'm all for it. I love the
Yeah, me
weekend
too.
warriors.
It's great, and they're off this weekend, but next weekend they'll be on the road in Columbia taking on the South Carolina Venom,
The
and so
venom.
um, that's probably going to be their toughest game on the year. Being on the road up there, that's probably the second best team. If the Sharks are the best, that's probably the second best team. But we'll see how they do. But
So
it's great
Clash
to
of the
go out and
Titans.
go watch a football game. And they were talking about getting to play on Hilton Head High School's field, which is, by the way, fantastic field, beautiful
Right.
field, and probably the best field in the league that they play in.
Oh
And
yeah.
so it's a really really cool opportunity. But the funny thing is, I hadn't been to Hilton Head High School's campus in quite a while, so I hadn't seen what all had been going on
Oh my
outside.
gosh, that field house and all that stuff.
Yeah, the field house, but they're building the new school as well. They're
Sure
building a
are.
whole new school building, $167 million building,
Yep.
which is gonna be huge. It's a 3-story
Yeah.
building. That thing is massive. I can't
Yeah,
wait
it's
till it's
hard getting
done.
around there right now. The
It is
parking
hard
and
getting
the
around there,
the
but I didn't
construction,
even
it
know.
is
I
a
don't even know
hassle.
when that field house was built. I could not remember it being
Me
there in the
neither,
fall.
man. It wasn't
You
there and
know?
then it was.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
beautiful field house.
it
I
is
need to get it. I need to
nice.
get in there one day to take a look at it. But looking on the outside, I was like, wow, that is beautiful,
Yeah,
and it
it's
really
really
works with the
nice.
rest. It works with the rest of the athletic facilities. It's really beautiful, but
They have a good setup over there. It's
they
well
do.
laid out, well designed.
And just I would say this
Oh,
regarding the team that they played on Saturday. They are a first year program, and of course,
yeah.
Justin, you and I know what being a first year program is
Don't
like.
we ever?
Um, yeah, yeah, and so they're still trying to figure out how to play the game as well. So
Yeah.
they did get rocked a bit, but boy, those Wolves put in an effort despite how big of a loss it was. They put in an effort. But they're not quite there just yet. They're gonna get there. I think they got a good coaching staff with a lot of players who love playing the game. So I think once they get that figured out, they're gonna be a really good team. But man, this Sharks team really impressed me on Saturday. I was very happy to go watch my first Sharks game in a very long time. I think the last time I got to see a Hilton Head Sharks game was back when they were on the old Hilton Head Christian Academy football field back in the day.
Yeah.
I was very excited to go see them. They got some big boys on that offensive
Yeah,
line, let
they
me tell
do.
you.
Yeah, they do. Our guy Chad Malphus helping anchor it. But they
Big
got
Chad.
some large fellas.
Chad's great.
167
Actually,
million for the school building. Kevin Libby points out that Madison Square Garden cost 123 million in
right.
1968.
Yeah,
Inflation.
they put $163 million into the school totally to rebuild everything,
That's
including
awesome.
that new school building, which I think is great because
Ooh,
really
high
that
stepping.
building. Yeah, man, look at that move.
Oh,
That building that they currently have has been there since I think the '60s, so it's been there for quite
hmm.
a while. And they're
Well,
just looking.
not the 60s. It would have been 83, I believe, is
Yeah,
when
yeah, the
that high
'80s,
school opened.
but still,
Um,
it's one of the older high schools in the Low Country
it
right now.
is quite old.
Um, yeah,
There's
so
probably some asbestos in there.
yeah, yeah. So it was due for some upgrades, and I saw the building the other day, and I was like, wow, I cannot wait to see that place when it's done. It's going to look absolutely beautiful. But man, this Sharks team is really putting it together. I want to get
They
Chad
got some
on the
dudes with
Loco.
some jets. I got to get to a
Yeah,
game.
man, dude, I want to get Chad on the Loco Sports Lowdown one night because that dude is fun to have on the show.
He has been
We met him in our
not a frequent guest, I guess, but he's been on a number of times through the years.
yeah.
Because Chad and I
We need
go
to get him
way
back
back,
on.
and
There he is
I
right
was
there,
just
number
talking with
66.
his I was just talking with
Yeah.
his pops tonight at the football game, and he was telling me he was playing again. I said, I know we're doing the coaches show, and we
He's
had
doing
him
a
on
great
for the
job
first
too. I mean,
episode. So
he is probably right now, in my opinion, he's the captain of that team. I mean,
yeah,
he's got he's the player with
well,
probably the most experience out of all of them, and he's really
I
leading
ain't
that
gonna
offensive
lie.
line.
I've started envisioning him coaching the offensive line in the Ville in the fall. So I
Dude,
might have
I'm
to make
telling
some
you, man.
make some
Yeah,
overtures. I
yes,
have to make
man.
some
I would love
overtures.
that. That dude
That
would be
man needs
great.
to. I think coaching is the only way he's going to ever stop putting his body on the line to play football. So I think we got to get him into the coaching realm before he beats himself up too bad. But um, but yeah, then last night a few more scores for you. Boys lacrosse, we mentioned it. Beaufort boys 22-0 over JP2, and that's a Beaufort team that's been taking their lumps too. So it just kind of illustrates the layers to things. We played Hampton
Yeah,
last night, and they're a team that's been struggling to get wins, and they put it on us. So there's levels to it, and that's one of the challenges of scheduling is figuring out who's on your level, so you're playing the right people. Um, for the most part. But Beaufort big win over JP2. Good luck to the JP2 boys getting that program going. JP2 boys soccer though 4-1 over Palmetto Christian, and then a couple of these softball scores were mentioned. May River 18-0 over Bluffton. West Ashley 10-0 over Beaufort. Colleton County 10-3 over Branchville. Colleton Prep swept Hilton Head Prep in two lopsided wins. Our friends at Legacy Christian beat Harvest Christian 17-2. We're counting on them winning the state championship again this year, so we can say that we played the state champs at least. Hampton County, 24-0 over Hardyville. We gave up 3 touchdowns on a field goal last night.
okay.
Baseball, Bishop England 12-6 over May River. Bluffton 9-5 over Colleton. Beaufort 6-3 over Hilton Head. That's a nice win for the Eagles in region play. And then Hilton Head Prep 17-0 over Colleton Prep. So that's what went down last night. We told you about a couple things tonight, including HHCA boys soccer winning in PKs over First Baptist. Couple big saves and the penalties by Ian Kelly. Patrick Henry 4-0 over St. John's Christian in boys soccer, and Bridges Prep 7-1 over Edisto. Oceanside Collegiate 3-0 over Battery Creek. And then on the girls' side, Oceanside 11-0 over Creek, and Patrick Henry 4-3 over Colleton Prep. Got a few outstanding scores, but not too many. We thought Javon might be stopping by, but we ain't seen him yet. He should be here any minute if he's gonna be. Max, here's a topic for you to consider. Well, actually, first let's leave you on that note and shout out some sponsors. Welcome back, Hudson Seafood House on the docks to the Lowco Booster Club. Great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. Going to have a new episode coming out Thursday if we can get it all together here. Bob Stevens on vacation, so we're trying to fill in for him and get the show out this week. New sponsor, Hilton Head Furniture. They sell great handcrafted furniture made just up the road in Hickory, North Carolina, and brought to Hilton Head Island to bring it to you and put it in your house forever and ever, because they got good stuff that will last a long time, not like the big box stores. Check out Hilton Head Furniture the next time you need furniture. They're in the Lowco Booster Club. The topic that I wanted to present to you was regarding the transfer portal, and a friend of ours who's back in it. Nick
Yes.
Pringle is back in the portal, and there's some question about what his direction will be, because he indicated that he's in the portal, but he is also testing the NBA draft waters. So I pondered on this a little bit. First of all, we thought he was out of eligibility, right? And then Diego
Right.
Pavia from Vanderbilt, the quarterback, challenged the NCAA on counting junior college years against your eligibility. And the
Right.
court said, no, that doesn't count, shouldn't count. So Nick Pringle recouped yet another year. So essentially, what we've got here, and I spent a little time wrapping my head around this. What we got here essentially is Nick has been granted this free year to do whatever he wants with it. And he would be an absolute fool if he didn't throw his name in that portal and also test the draft waters, because this is an opportunity for him to make one decision that will impact the rest of his life forever. And if he makes the right decision, like, he's set, right? because if he's going to get drafted, he's got to go. I don't think he's going to get drafted. Um,
He did
so
not
I, I
have.
don't
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to end up going pro right now. I think he's going to go play another year somewhere. And right now, a 6'10", 6'11" big who can score away from the basket and has been to the Final Four and defends the rim the way he does is going to get a lot of money in the transfer portal, in the NIL situation. Somebody's going to need him and see him as the piece that gets them over the
Yeah.
top. So he's going to have some offers, and so at the end of the day, what I see is a kid who knows he has he's sitting on a gold mine of this 1 year and what he uses it for, and he's going to try to set himself up the best he can for the future with this 1 year. He's going to play professional basketball somewhere. I don't think it'll be in the NBA, but I'm not ruling it out. But he has an opportunity if it's not in the NBA, if he ends up playing, overseas. He has an opportunity to make more money this year than he does in his whole overseas career potentially. So he's got to take advantage of that. Going back to Carolina, where he has no leverage, did not seem like the move, especially after a last place finish in the SEC. I think after you've been to the Final Four and then you go to that, that's a tough pill to swallow. I think
He
he
did
wants to
not.
go somewhere he's
He
got
did
a
not
chance to
have.
win.
Yeah. He did not
He
have the
had a
best of years either. He had an okay
well,
year.
I
It
mean, he
wasn't
had
great.
career highs in every category.
Yeah, but still, I think he could be more than that. I really do. Like watching his game, I think he can do
For
so much
sure.
more than he did this season. I think he did okay, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think going to South Carolina may have been the wrong move, and we thought him going to South Carolina would be great, but
I
we
don't know
didn't.
it's a wrong move, but it's the right move to not go back there for another year, I think.
Agreed. I 100% agree with you on that. I never understood because I always thought him staying in Alabama, I thought was the move I would have made if I was him. Because I think he was a vital part to that team. I mean, he helped that team
He
on their run through the
was, he
NCAA tournament.
was, but he also his minutes were kind of inconsistent and limited,
Right.
which led to him averaging like 5, 6 points a game. I think that the fear, at least from my perspective, the fear there was he had kind of been in and out of the good graces of Nate Oates, who is, sort of a little mercurial guy, like you kind of get in his doghouse, you don't play for a while.
Right.
And I think there was a little bit of fear that, like, dude, if he actually kicks me off of this team in the middle of my last year of eligibility, because he had kind of come close a couple times, right? If he throws you off
Right.
the team in the middle of your last year of eligibility, you're just done. And then you may not get drafted. You may not play overseas. So I think it was a little bit more of a feeling of, I don't know exactly what my status is here, how much I'm wanted here, how much I'm going to be in the mix when they bring in a new recruiting class. I just want to take control of my situation.
Yeah.
And I don't fault him for that at all. I think coming home was actually a good move. I mean, seeing his family posting pictures of going to all his games and stuff, like, that was special. But now he has a found opportunity to do it for another year somewhere. We were speculating last night, as Kevin Levy speculates here, about the dream, the pipe dream of Pringle just going, you know what? Forget it. I'm going home, going to try to win a D2 natty. But I think what we just talked about kind of
I,
rules that out, because
yeah,
he's going to
it
get
does.
high six, maybe seven figures from somebody, I suspect. And
Yeah.
USCB ain't matching that.
No. All that. I mean, I won't disagree with
We
that.
can
Uh,
dream. We can dream.
like if he could, and we could pay him that much money, God, I would love to have him here. But I'm intrigued to see where he goes next. I don't think it's
I am
USCB.
too.
That's kind of
No,
out
I
of the
don't either.
question. Although I would love to see it, it's out of the question. Um, I'm intrigued to see where he goes, um, and if he continues to play for a power four conference
Power,
team.
power,
Um,
whatever.
yeah,
I think he goes SEC again personally, but I don't know.
I would think so because I don't know if I don't know if there's any teams outside of the SEC that I think he'd be a good fit in. I mean, maybe
I don't know.
an AC.
Clemson might go after him.
I was thinking Clemson, but I don't know. Well,
but then
maybe.
again, I don't know. I really don't know. North Carolina
I
State,
will say
Will
this.
Wade. There's going to be a lot of suitors. Let's put it that way. There's going to be a lot of people who go, "Ooh,
yeah,
he's on the market," and float it.
I will say this: Clemson is probably going to be in a rebuild next year because they were a senior-heavy team this season, so they would be looking for players in the portal to booster that team up if they.
Everybody's looking for players in the portal.
Right.
Everybody.
But in Clemson's,
Georgia, Georgia might be interesting.
Right.
In Clemson's he could go
case,
to a. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I would say in Clemson's case, they're losing a lot of seniors who led that program to two straight NCAA tournament. Well, not two straight. I guess 2 NCAA tournament appearances in their time. They're losing a lot of seniors. So bringing in seniors through the transfer portal who want to play as a Power 4 opponent, I think bringing in seniors to be veterans for what is probably going to be a very young team next year. Nick Pringle could definitely be on that list, but I don't know. We'll see.
He makes sense for a lot of people. Well, let's see what our friend has to say about it because he's always got hot takes. Beaufort's own founder, Javon Livingston, joining us now on the LowcoSports Lowdown. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, big dog? What's going on with you?
Where's Pringle going next year? That's what we're wondering.
Listen, I would assume with his last couple of moments left, he wants to go somewhere where he probably can have a chance to be a contender or somewhere where who's clearly giving him a defined role to be the key big man wherever he goes, wherever that may be. So I think those are the big two.
Thomas says Zachary Davis is also training, has an offer from Florida, and Nick is way better than him. So, yeah, I think SEC is very possible. I think there's a good chance he sticks in the SEC. I just keep saying, MIC.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, honestly, any SEC team would be grateful to have Nick Pringle
absolutely
as part of that team. I mean, he's a center who can shoot from outside mid-range. I mean, he can do that, and he is pretty solid with that as well.
I think of him as more a power forward than a center, personally.
Yeah, because he can. I mean, even as a center, that dude can move as a center, man.
He's become more like a stretch four almost because he can get out and play facing the basket. Great rim defender, now for sure. Energy guy, good rebounder. Super valuable player. I mean, no question about it. So a lot of people will be after him. I saw you, Javon. You're speculating now about who your Steelers are going to end up with at quarterback because Russell Wilson is off the market to the Giants. So,
wow.
Who you think you're getting, buddy?
It better be Shador, man. It better be Shador. You know, something they gotta give away some picks or something. There's no way. There's hope is that they're gonna say no if they get to a bad Browns or Jaguars. Jaguars got Trevor Lawrence, but they get to a bad Browns or something situation. Okay, cool. So, but with Russ and Jameis, that might take the Giants for sure out the quarterback market.
Yeah,
because they signed Russ and Jameis, so that takes them out.
Here you go.
So I mean,
this guy's still out there.
No. We already have a problem, Thomas, keeping control of our wide receivers. We already let our wide receivers go off the rails.
And George Pickens trying to coexist.
Taking them. One dude's trying to square it with everybody, and the other dude's on a darkness retreat. I don't have time.
I mean, we already.
Cameron Hayward wants no part of it.
We already know Aaron Rodgers is going down the path of his most hated person on planet Earth, and Brett Favre. He's going in there.
I said, Mm-hmm.
Minnesota said they're out on him. Minnesota
they got
J.J. McCarthy.
You got to remember that they drafted him in the first round.
They'd rather play a guy who's never played a snap.
I mean, the only team I could think of that would take Aaron Rodgers is, the Raiders. That's like the only team I can think of.
They got Geno. They got Geno.
Yeah, that's
Everybody's
and Pete Carroll went to the Raiders too, so that's a match.
he's running out
Yeah.
of spots, man. I don't know that there's a job for him in the league, which is hilarious.
Well,
I
if
hope.
Tua Tagovailoa gets another concussion, the Miami Dolphins will have an open position.
Yeah, I don't think McDaniel's bringing him in. I really don't.
No, he won't.
Yeah, because if he's out of the Jets,
I think he's toast, man. I don't think anybody wants him. I think it's hilarious.
Carolina, Bryce
But I'm
Baker,
a little
Derek
concerned
Carr.
about what new hobby he's going to pick up because I swear to God, if he runs for office, Lord.
Oh, geez, no, dude, I can't even think about that. I would say this though. Would you not go, Javon? Would you rather take Shador over Cam Ward?
Yeah, I'm a Shador guy.
Okay,
You're a
all right. I'm just
Shador guy.
making sure because I
I'm a
feel like
Shador.
those
I'm a
are the
Shador.
two quarterbacks that are going to be taken first. One or the other one is going to get picked first. I think out of
Yeah.
quarterback.
I think
I'm a
Kyle
Shador.
McCord. I think Kyle McCord's going to be end up
Kyle
being the best
McCord is
NFL
slowly
quarterback out of the class.
Yeah, I mean,
slowly moved up there.
there's a very good chance we could all be wrong.
Yeah, I like him.
Whatever
I
you
like him.
do,
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Remember how good
whatever you
Ryan
do-
Leaf was going to be?
Right.
Better than
Picking
Peyton Manning.
Picking
hope it's not
quarterbacks is
I hope
terrible.
y'all don't take what's his name from Alabama, Milrow, because that is
Oh yeah,
I don't
Not
think he's
sold on
ready
him.
for the NFL. Honestly.
No.
Anyway,
I'm not sold on him. But Javon, back to the grind that you find yourself on night to night. Tonight you had
Yeah.
soccer, girls soccer, May River, Beaufort. I saw it 3-0 early. How about it get?
7-0.
Yeah.
They switched out keepers.
Rough
Switched out keepers. They scored
choice
2 more.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, no Duncan tonight out there either. I didn't see her at all, so that kind of
No
pooed a
who?
little bit. Selena Duncan, she wasn't out there either.
Oh, well, that would explain a lot.
Well, I don't think I don't think it'll be a 7-0 difference, but
No, definitely not. But
it'll help out.
that might turn a 4-2 into a 7-0 though.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. I don't know what the boys score. Oh Lord, the boys score was worse. 14-1, May River. Put it on.
Boys Beaufort versus May River?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yee.
what was the score?
14-1. Lisa's
That
boys
was what?
scored
Boys
a
soccer or baseball?
bunch tonight. That's boys soccer.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Lisa's boys scored 2 touchdowns tonight.
I tell you
I
what,
told you. I listen. It was an early prediction. I told you when I saw that Hardyville game.
You did.
Beaufort versus Hardyville. I was worried. I was really worried
because we were down some guys for that, as I recall.
That was the main part too. Like, well, for one, it was 1-8 versus 4, so I was already concerned.
Right.
And then finding out that they were down so many guys that they were playing the JV guys, I'm like, Jesus. How's the health looking, by the way? For the boys.
Yeah, getting better.
They had a close one.
Definitely getting better.
A close one the other night against Royal Live Oaks.
Royal.
Went into PKs, I
Lost
believe,
some
right?
PKs.
Yeah.
Royal Live Oaks, they're just right there on the corner in Hardyville, and they might not compete in nothing else, but they're getting that soccer program rolling, man.
Yeah, they're not very competitive in most things, but they have an excellent soccer program. Interesting from tonight.
Because they're pretty good last year, too.
Interesting from tonight. Speaking of Royal Live Oak soccer, we got word that something interesting went down tonight. So as we have discussed, the high school league requires that soccer games in the regular season be played to a conclusion in region play. That you have to have a winner and a loser. But they didn't have one tonight in Ridgeland. We're told that the Royal Live Oaks and Ridgeland boys played to a 0-0 tie. And then the refs left, and they didn't play overtime or penalties. So we're not exactly sure what to do with that because we're not supposed to have ties in region play.
I mean,
you got to finish those out.
That's horrible. That's horrible by the referees. That's absolutely ridiculous. You should not be.
It's not like you can come back another day and play overtime and penalties. Like
You
defeats
can't.
the whole
It's
purpose. Like
ridiculous because now
Because it
everything
takes the
up
fatigue
in the
out.
matchup to that point.
that's.
Everything in the matchup
Here's
to
the
that
thing.
point
That's exactly
impacts that.
what because it's a 0-0 game. So
Oh,
that's exactly what the South
my
Carolina High
mistake.
School League.
Not in Ridgeland. It was a Royal Live Oaks home game. I don't know where they played
Well,
this.
here's the other
Wait,
thing.
do they play them in Ridgeland? Where do they play them? I don't know where they play them. Boss
Here's
man
my
says it
thing
was a
though with
Royal Live
them.
Oaks home team.
Here's my thing. First off, that's terrible by the referees. That is something that should never happen.
I don't
Ever.
understand
You
how
should
it
not-
happens.
And because it's a 0-0 game, more than likely, the South Carolina High School League is going to say you guys have to finish that game out.
Oh, City Hall. They play it. Shit Hall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in
That
that
makes
aspect, they're going to make you either restart the game or play from
Right.
where
That's
it
good
ended
out there.
and go to overtime.
It is. It's a great facility. Oh, Lord of mercy.
You
What
know,
am
Yeah, I
gonna do
don't.
about
That's absolutely ridiculous. A referee should not be doing that. They know the rules. They know the rules. The rules are there for a
Supposed to.
reason. You're supposed
They're
to know
supposed
those
to.
rules, but apparently they didn't
Well,
tonight.
that's why
I
I
don't know
said.
what-
That's why I say. When we talked before, I am anti-ties. I don't. Somebody wins and loses tonight.
Yeah.
That's how I feel always. And that situation right there, that just ruined it for anything. Nothing can happen to a player. I don't know what their health is like. You want to talk about like with Hardyville being down so many guys. Health could change. That could be a big matchup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
a team probably shouldn't have won, but
Right.
somebody was out and then they got in.
Right.
Now they have to play them
Yeah,
at
like
full health.
if you come back and do PKs in a week and somebody broke their leg between now and then, like,
Or
that makes a big difference. Or somebody comes back from injury and now they're in the penalty shootout and they weren't even in that game.
Yeah, I got a little handy pull. I couldn't have played a full 80, but I could come out for PKs maybe. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, those are, even if it's a small injury, that could have made a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a big deal, man. You got to finish
Yeah.
those games out. I'm always anti-tie. I don't like
absolutely-
ties.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And look, we've talked about whether ties should be a thing in soccer for South Carolina High School League. I don't know where I stand on that, to be honest, because there's pros and cons with that situation as to if either
In
one
soccer
was
only, I'm pro tie. In soccer only.
Yeah, that would be the only sport that I'd
I
be
think
pro
it's a
tie
fair
for.
result in soccer.
But I think that's what we've discussed before is that they go to PKs instead of just calling a tie. But I think I don't mind having PKs and determining a winner during the regular season. I mean, obviously during playoffs you have to do that. I don't
Right.
mind it during the regular season. I would love to see ties as a thing in regular season play, but
Agreed.
but even then, even because they have PKs, does not mean the refs should walk off in a
Yeah,
tie
what are we
ball
doing?
game
Finish the game,
when
bro.
you know there's supposed to be a winner in the end, or at least they should know there's supposed to be a winner in the end. I don't know what they were thinking tonight. That's just really, really stupid by the refs, and I don't
Yeah.
like to
I mean,
talk crap about refs.
there's usually more to the story when it seems so cut and dried.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, I
else
don't want to
comes out
talk
about
crap
that.
about the
Yeah.
refs, but for what we know right
Yeah,
now
I like
about the
ties and
game,
hockey
I
too.
don't think I don't like how that turned out. Like I don't think
I mean, in a
it's
perfect world, we would just have golden goal until its conclusion. But school buses and school nights and children and all
so
that stuff.
here's my
Speaking of
here's
which,
my-
I wonder if the softball game has finished in Santee yet.
oh yeah, did
We
you
had
hear
a
about this?
Donnybrook going up at Lake Marion, Javon. Whale Branch softball versus Lake Marion. Let's get an update. It's
That's a
been
Donnybrook.
quite an
That is
adventure.
crazy.
It's
Is that a
Hold
low
on.
score?
It's
that
still
a low-
going.
No, wait.
This game
Low or
started at
high?
6. It's still going. Hold on. We're in the top of the 7th. Whale Branch has edged ahead 32-30. Trying to hang on. We're gonna have to shut them down in the bottom half. They've scored 19 runs in the last 2 innings to surge ahead. They're a combined 13 hits to produce these 62 runs.
Hey guys, man, let's just wrap it up. This is JJ, Max, Javon, go Loco. Doing
See you later.
37 walks and hit by pitches for Whale Branch. I'm not making fun because this is what our games feel like too.
Is there not a
And
time
then,
limit for this game?
well, that's the thing. They keep telling us there's a time limit, but there's not supposed to be.
There's not
It's
supposed
supposed to
to
be
be.
run rule or 7 innings. And so they're still playing 10:25 in the PM. And
But they're at
we're
7
up.
innings though. It's not like they're Beaufort and Gilbert where they're like 14 innings in. They're
Right.
at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my commentary would go silent during this
Whale
game.
Branch just scored a touchdown, 38-30. Going for the extra point.
Oh man.
I think they're going to
What?
come out ahead.
They just scored 8 runs?
6. Yeah, they were
Sick.
up 32-30. Now it's 38-30. I don't know how that happened so fast.
Somebody
But,
hit a home run?
That poor pitcher for Lake Marion is
Even
now
then, you
up
can't
to
score 6 runs on a
40
home
free
run.
bases issued, 33 walks, and 7 hit by pitches. And I guess they don't have another pitcher because she's still going.
She can't hit by that.
Oh
It's
my
the same
God.
pitcher still pitching the whole game?
Allegedly, according
That's
to
rough.
Game
my
Changer,
God.
it is. Let's see what her
Dude, that
pitch
is
count is.
nuts. That's nuts.
274 pitches,
Yeah,
275 and
she's
counting.
done till next week, bro.
Dude,
I threw about that many at practice today, but I wasn't really giving max effort.
What's the pitch count in high school?
There isn't one in softball because
there
there's
isn't
no
one in
danger.
softball. In baseball, it's 110.
There's no danger to your arm. in
Your
softball.
arm
It's
throwing
natural
underhand?
motion. Yeah, it's natural motion. It doesn't
Because
strain.
for a softball pitcher, the only danger would be to the forearm or the wrist area.
She's gonna be sore tomorrow. Don't get it
She's gonna be
twisted. She's
sore.
gonna be sore tomorrow.
That forearm's gonna be throbbing.
But also, a lot
You
of
gotta
these
ice
girls,
that baby.
programs like ours are not
gotta do more than ice
whipping
it,
it
man.
super hard
How about
either.
dry ice it?
Yeah.
39-30. I think they're gonna hang on.
But you can't because if it's the 7th and Wild Branch is at bat, it's the top of the inning.
Correct. So, and they did allow 11 in the first inning, so it's not out of the question. There have been
That's
2 double-digit innings in this game. Yes, 39-30 is a softball score. Sure is.
Jeez.
Warriors
I know
were
he ain't
down.
talking Mr. 14-1 down there. Comment it's awesome. 39-30.
Warriors were down
39-30 is pretty.
11-2. They were down 11-2 in the first inning. Now leading 39-30.
So it was supposed to be over, and then
keep playing. That
that's
7-run
crazy.
second got them right back in it, and that 10-run fifth and 9-run sixth was really the key. So I'm about to invite Whale Branch and Lake Marion, along with Hilton Head Prep and Hilton Head Christian Academy, to the Diamond Canes. Everybody gets a win invitational.
I'm trying to tell you, dog. That's a 39-30. That's got to make Sports Center. That's good.
The craziest thing is we got 69 runs and 15 hits. That's crazy work.
With 15 hits, that's
I
crazy.
have seen. There have been worse scores that I've seen on social media before for softball,
Really?
which is crazy to think about. Well, it's not more so. It's just a domination.
I'm
by
trying to
one team.
imagine coaching this game, man. Oh my god,
Dude, I couldn't. I'd be done by the 5th inning, if not earlier than that. I couldn't.
One girl has drawn 5 walks in this game and still has 2 at bat.
I had a tough enough time. I had a tough enough time coaching against Bamberg last week, last Thursday when we got unfortunately smoked by Bamberg. But I mean to coach this
I'm
game,
obsessed with crazy box scores like this. I'm just obsessed with them. I can't get over this. There's 2 girls that have. There's 3 girls that have drawn 5 walks in this game.
That's crazy work.
4 girls, because 1 for Lake Marion too. That's a season's worth of walks for some people.
I have nothing left to say on the matter. That was
crazy work.
I get
to play Whale Branch later this season, so we may get to be a part of one of these. We'll see. I hope we don't give up over 30 runs. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh, I
Dude,
might have a
that's
stroke. I might have a stroke if we give up 30 in a game.
I think I've seen. I think I know what Kevin's talking about with this one. I did see an HBCU softball score though that had a team score like a crap ton of runs.
HBCU
And
No,
softball.
he was talking about bringing a frat to do a line dance on the thing.
Yeah,
That's how bad it is. That's what he was saying.
yeah.
yeah, but still though,
Yeah.
I have seen a score like that before where
Uh-oh.
a program just gets absolutely.
Warriors got the bases loaded with 1 out. Already 7 runs in this inning. They could break it wide open right here.
Oh my, yeah, break it wide open.
They
Would
might
be
get a
them being
50.
up by
They might get a
14.
50 burger. They might get a 50 burger tonight.
50 would be
Dude, could you
crazy.
imagine? Could you imagine if they get a 50? That game has to go on.
What is
SportsCenter.
the national record for runs in a softball game? I wonder, because
We're probably gonna
wanna
find
know.
out.
I
wow,
wanna
We're probably
know
gonna
because
find
I have a feeling we're getting close to it.
because it's got to be a team because it can't be one way. A mercy rule will come into effect if it's one way.
right.
So it has to be 2 teams together.
All right, here we go. Team offense, most runs scored, game, both teams. Oh Lord, 95 is the record. 48 to
Oh
47, done twice.
Jesus, that's terrible.
Oh no, that was the same game. Never mind. It was New Cayama Valley, California against Cambria Coast Valley, 48-47. There was also a game in which East Machias Washington Academy beat Lubeck in Massachusetts 88 to 6. How?
How did they let that go on?
1980, that was in 1983. Did they not have a run rule?
Oh no, that's when they didn't
don't
care.
think so.
That's when they only gave out ribbons to 3rd place. There was no 5th through 8th. There was no
But
participation.
our
You
game
got
at
your butt
39 to
whipped.
30, 39 to 30 is currently tied for 4th all time with I'm sorry, 69 runs, not 79. No, we're further down the list, but we're still on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
just
We're tied
look
for
at that.
10th. We're in the top 10. High school league record is 60
No, they
by
said
one
yes. High school
school.
record 60.
By one school.
That's
I guess
crazy.
so.
They just
Yeah, the
gotta
national
call it.
record. The national record for one school is Pelion scored 67 according to the NFHS record book in 1990.
That
What?
88 run thing. Why do I have
I
a feeling
wonder
they scored like a half of those in the
88.
first inning?
what's the high school league record though?
You
Because
better not scored all.
if the national record is 80, 98 or something like that. You said
95.
95, and then they're still
Well,
like 10th
oh,
right now.
they just hit 40. They just hit 40. It's 40 to 30.
So at 70, where are we at nationally?
We're at 70. We're in the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is there another South
5,
Carolina program on
6,
there that you can recognize?
7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're in solo 10th now. No, there's no South Carolina games on here, so I
40
think it
runs.
might be.
Number 1 all time.
Yeah, that 67 must have been 67 to nothing because it's not listed and it stops at 67. So I think Killian probably won 67 to
Yeah.
nothing
Most by one
by
team
one
was
team. 67.
Jesus, Rayleigh, all in
Yeah.
one comment, man.
Yeah, he'd be mistyping. But 2 outs, runners on the corners.
40
We'll
runs,
see.
man. 40
Look,
runs.
I mean, 41. They just got another one home.
Oh
Wild
my
pitch.
god. Oh my god.
So we're up to
Dude.
71. We're now tied for 9th
At what
all
point? At
time.
what point do the
Tied for
umpires
8th.
just think to
Tied for
themselves?
8th all time.
Can I ask? At what point do the umpires think I'm never getting out of here?
Oh yeah, no.
I'm stuck
They
here for
might
the rest
drive
of
off
the
a
night.
bridge on the way home. 28 is the high school league record for runs in an inning, also by Pelion, presumably in that game.
Pillion's got some records, man. My goodness.
That's a
It
long
probably was
run.
all in that same game. You get 67. You
Dude,
got some records.
I wouldn't be shocked by that. That's insane.
Yeah, we're not. Oh, we just moved into solo eighth, 42-30. We're up to 72 now.
That's
1, 2, 3, 4,
amazing.
5, 6, 7.
Well, they
It's
make the stats look good.
Forget
Those batting
move up.
averages are good.
We're
Huh?
one run away from.
Forget softball. Those girls are playing flag football. That's what they're playing.
We're
Flag
one run
football.
away from a tie for sixth.
Which could be on the way as a sanctioned
I hope
sport.
so.
I
Our
would
girls
love
want
flag
it
to see
football.
so
that.
bad. Our girls at
I would
Hardyville want it so
love
bad.
to see that.
Me too.
I would love to see that.
I'm for
That
that
would be
sort of thing.
great. That'd be
I'll have
great.
all my softball players playing flag football.
I wish
Jimmy
club was a
Norton-
bigger thing in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really have to be a full, but like a club kind of.
Yeah.
Like, you know how college has intramurals? Like, high school could do some small things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Our
That doesn't
kids
have to
also
be.
want a boxing club, but I don't know if that's going to fly.
Could you
Yeah, nah,
imagine,
you can't have kids beating up each
I
other
have
in
a
high school.
sport. I have
They
a
don't want
sport in
that.
mind. I have a sport in mind. How about an ultimate frisbee league for South
I
Carolina
like
high
that.
school?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so we're speculating that it was a 67-0 skunking because the game does not show up in the top 10 for total runs between both teams on the NFHS site, and the 67 for Pelion does in the most runs scored by one team. All right, they got out of the inning at 42-30. Let's see how many Lake Marion can put up. They have had here are their inning by innings 11-6, 3-4, 0-6. So, you know, again, 30-6. They average 5 runs an inning in this game. It could get interesting.
With that big first inning, they'll say to them, it looked like Brent's kind of tightened down a little bit.
Yeah,
will
say this,
definitely.
And until they hit that 6 in that 6th inning.
Yeah, the 6
But
and the 6.
But that second through 5th looked like, okay, they've been figuring it out.
It was a 2-run game, and then they gave up the 10 spots. So now they got to come up big in the bottom. I almost feel like we have to see this through.
I could see Hilton Head High School bringing in a flag football team, especially when they are done building that new school, bro.
Well, they are building out there.
I think once the high school league goes with it, I think everybody's going to roll with it. I think it's going to happen fast. I think girls are hype about it, but maybe.
Well, our 5A schools down 295 or whatever that is out there in the Hilton Head, that stretch from there to 95. That's it. Bluffton and May River and Hilton Head are gonna have it because May River is technically probably already 5. Technically already 5A, aren't they?
They're right on the cusp.
Right on it. They'll be one of the smallest. That smallest or biggest, which schools negotiate for.
They might get one more cycle just based on geography if they're barely over the line. Because that kind of happened last time.
They'll have to travel.
Wanted to stay 5A, right? Because some of the Myrtle Beach schools would have dropped to 4A, but they wanted to stay 5A for geography. So May River wanted to stay 4A for geography. So they made all that happen. But it kind of relies on having like a willing partner in it, so it just depends on where the numbers fall and what it looks like region wise. But I think they might get one more cycle, 2 more years in 4A before they have to go up. I think Beaufort County would like for at least 2 of them to go up together, right? Like, so at least it minimizes the travel a little bit.
It would probably be Hilton Head and Beaufort, but they've never been 4A.
I would think May River.
I didn't say Hilton Head. I said Hilton Head and Beaufort. I meant for sure May River. My bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say May River and Hilton Head. I didn't know because they were building.
I wouldn't think Beaufort would go up. They just came up from 48. But May River and Bluffton are both busting at the seams pretty good. So I would think that's possible.
I know May River.
The other possibility always is another high school in Okatee, and that siphons kids off both, and then they keep them.
They got plenty of land.
They have land at Okatee Elementary. That it's going to happen eventually. I
mean, they got plenty of room.
Traffic is already so bad.
I know, bro. Yeah, you just won't be able to go past Cherry Point ever. You just can't.
That traffic in the morning. that 9 and 3:30 traffic. Oh my
It's awful.
god.
It will make
Oh
you
my
insane.
god.
Absolutely
Did y'all see
insane.
the traffic the other day?
On what, 170?
I
Yes,
stay
I
off
sent
of it.
Dude,
I,
I
s-
can't.
I sent the ADs a notice because I didn't know if the schools had messaged them yet or not. So I was like, just the incoming message. There was a wreck right there at Cherry Point, right there at Oldfield,
yeah,
and the traffic was
Always.
2 lane backed up, 2 lanes backed up all the way down to the overpass. And I went over the overpass because I was going to Bluffton, and it was the exit from Bluffton on to the 170. They were
yes.
backed up all the way to Buckwalter,
Dude, what usually takes
Holy
me a
cow.
and it was under
45-minute
there.
drive, what usually takes me a 45-minute drive to Beaufort for work, took me almost 2 hours.
Oh Lord. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody got time for that. Yeah, my wife got
Yeah,
caught up in it
I got
today
to
because
work.
there was a
I
wreck
got
out
to
by
work an hour. I got to
Chessie.
work an hour and a half late. I was an hour and a half late to work because of that.
I had a job like that. I had to take pictures. Hey, bro, and not like I do that.
Dude.
Hey, you here yet? Take a picture of me in traffic again.
Oh,
Like, bro.
Warriors got the first out, but then we got an infield single. So
Oh my
Lake
god.
Marion cooking in
Let
the bottom of the
let the
seventh.
scores
Got a runner.
let the scores roll.
We only got 72 on the board. We still got to get.
Why can't I
We still
present
got to
this?
get 23 more to get to the record.
I'm trying to show this picture of the new high
Yeah.
school for Hillmet High School for those who haven't seen
Facts.
the plans for it yet. It's huge,
Yeah.
but I can't get the screen to present it. I don't know why. It's saying I
What?
got to remove other media streams from the page.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah, I got you.
I
Now
don't
do
like
it.
the idea of paying for lights though. So that's that.
Now try it.
All right, hold on one second. I need to get it up again. Let's
That's
see
what
here.
she said.
I don't like
Thanks,
paying for lights.
Justin.
There's some ideas that I think
Rail Branch pitcher about to
are
go over
great.
200 pitches, by the way.
Jesus,
Oh,
what's that?
wow.
That's the biggest thing. Hold on, let me
That's
see if
the
I can get
new
it bigger.
Hilton Head Island High School. Looky
That's
there.
crazy, bro.
Wow.
They're working on it right now. I took pictures of it the other day. 3
You don't think that's
stories.
gonna go 5?
Huh?
That's enough for 5.
Yeah, but there ain't
Yeah.
enough kids on the island for 5
There's
acres.
not enough kids though. I mean,
Well, it looked like they
Ain't no new
predicting it. All
kids
that
coming
dang,
in.
all that
they
space.
may not.
They predicting
They may not be a
it.
5. They may not be a 5, but God, they'd turn into a strong 4A program. That's for sure.
Or they
I mean, they
consolidating
already
space so they
are.
can make
They
room for the
already are.
fields.
When you look across the board at like the Carlisle
Yeah.
Cup, they're right there. They're not quite as strong as they used to be, but they're still very strong across
Yeah,
the
they're
board.
still strong. But dude, I saw it
2
the other day
outs.
after the. Ooh. I saw it the
Closing
other day
in.
after the Hilton Head Sharks game. The thing looks like as big as a freaking parking
Yeah.
garage. The place is huge.
It kind of looks like a parking garage.
It looks. It's massive. It's massive.
It is
It
enormous.
reminds me of
It is
those. It
enormous.
reminds me of those parking garages at Disney Springs at
That's
Disney
what I was
World.
gonna say. Yeah, the
Those-
orange and the green and
Yes, those massive parking garages that they have. That's what it
Disney
reminds
Springs
me
in
of.
particular is what I was thinking of.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of the
What?
Sharks, man. Hey, I'm proud of those guys, man.
Heck yeah. They got a
We
big
got
dub.
our irreconcilable, however you say the word, differences, but but I remember all the fields that we were trying to play on and to finally land playing at the high school field at Hilton Head. That's big, regardless
Yeah.
of what, just for the level of semi-pro and how hard it is to be able. You want to talk about building those programs and trying to get to the point where you can make some money. Well, you can't when you're playing at, no disrespect, but
Right.
Hardyville when it wasn't maintained, when the school wasn't open.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's open and then you guys are maintaining it and then they're going to put
Right.
plans to redo the field. Like there was nobody there. The school wasn't open. You're playing there. You're playing football games at MC Riley.
Oh my God.
You're trying to book games at Burton Wells and then Hardyville. So when you do your home schedule, well, this game's going to be in Hardyville. This one's going to be at Ridgeland. This one's going to
Right.
be in, and it's like, and it was so bad. So, but to finally land Hilton Head permanently, that's a big deal. Shout out to the big dog Joe for allowing that to happen.
I mean,
That was awesome.
I talked with them on our show the other night. They had been talking about getting onto that field for years.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to finally be on it, I mean, they do have probably the best field out of all the teams they play in their league.
Oh, yeah.
They have the best field by far.
Oh yes. No. I played. I've covered semi-pro ball. I'm a defensive coordinator now, apparently. The, the playing at Hilton Head is outside of championship games because the league always finds a nice field for the championship game. On your own accord booking games,
Yeah.
at least in the Southeast, that's as good as it gets. If they help them with the facilities, like a scoreboard operator and all those things like that, or they got somebody to do the scoreboard and all, like that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
For semi-pro, that's very cushy.
Yeah, where is it, Max?
They're building the new school on the same area, like right in front of
the just loading up.
Building is. Yeah, it's the same spot. Yeah.
Well, second and third with 2 outs, threatening to cut into the 12-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th, Lake Marion.
Those poor umpires are gonna be on.
Hate their lives. This is the hardest $60 or $80 or whatever they ever earn.
They're gonna call.
This is like this is almost a 5-hour softball game now, boys. This is crazy. This is why they tell us there's a time limit. And they're going to tell us that, and if we don't fight them, they're going to go with it. And I may not fight them because I don't need to play no 5-hour games. I ain't got time.
Could you imagine me and Wes doing a USCB softball game that lasted that freaking long?
Oh, we got a walk and a wild pitch. It's 42-31.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous.
73 runs. We're now tied for 6th all time.
Top 5. Should I make a post about that? Are we making a post about that?
42-32. We're now in solo 6th.
Oh,
my God, it's true. We're in solo 6th now. We got a ways to go before we get to 5th, though. 78 is next up, and we're on 74. But we got a runner on second already.
We got
a runner on second already.
Make a post. Wilbrant softball makes top 10.
Yeah.
These poor umpires are going to be begging for more money from this game. They're going to be begging for it, man.
He's on third.
These umpires are begging for more money after this game. They're going to be like, you deserve more than $80.
Warriors are 2 strikes away.
And they're going to be aggressive too, because it's the bottom of the inning, and they got to come up with 8 runs.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, she didn't quite make it to 300 pitches for Lake Marion. 297.
Oh, they put her out.
They probably missed at least 3 foul balls, right? She's got around 300. Let's see here. We got a runner on third. Still 2 outs, 2 strikes. Gators down to their last strike. Yeah, living wages. Universal basic income. All right, here we go.
Refereeing, it should be part-time, but when you turn it into 5 hours instead of 2 hours, it's really good because then that turns into like $30 an hour. But if you play 5 hours,
hope this wasn't scheduled as a doubleheader.
Oh, if this was a doubleheader, if they played the first game.
God, could you
imagine? All right, let's run them back, ladies.
I'm going to see y'all on Saturday. Somebody going to have to
drop third strike. Oh, she reaches on the drop third strike, and the run scores 42-33.
Oh, my
We're up
God.
to 75 runs in it.
7 to go. Anybody on base? We should just put the game changer, like a little
runner on first.
In the corner.
I'm watching the game.
We should. Actually, that's not a bad idea, actually. Hold on 1 second.
20. Well, no, you can't. I don't know how you would do it because how are you going to share your phone screen on your computer?
Well, I could sign into Game Changer on my laptop.
The laptop.
You can?
Yeah.
I think so.
It used to work and then it didn't for a while.
And they said you can't cheat.
when they switched from the old Game Changer to the new Game Changer, it didn't for a while. They might have
Let me
fixed it
check.
now.
Let me check.
It does. Man.
2 strikes again. 2
They
strikes
say
again.
you can't teach an old dog new tricks,
Fouled it
JJ.
off. Staying alive. No.
I
It
love
just
Game Changer.
didn't. I love Game Changer. Best app ever. Every sport should use it.
I would use it because the automation. If they just had better scoreboards, that big blocky scoreboard, because
Yeah.
they have it where you can web overlay it, you can pull it onto a
Oh
stream.
yeah.
Yeah, but that big blocky scoreboard at the top,
Too much.
yeah. They just streamlined it a little bit better. Because
Okay.
that's what I do. I normally pull it up, and then that's how I have my stats for baseball, softball.
Yeah.
While I'm doing the game, I think that's awesome.
It's the best. I mean, the number
They
of
could do it
teams
for other
following
sports.
on there is crazy. They do have
Yeah,
it for other sports. I know that some soccer teams have started using it. I know that some basketball teams use it. So they're adding support for other sports, which is great.
Yeah. Well, because I know soccer or something may be hard, as far as finding and mounting, but like basketball and volleyball, where I know for a fact they got an iPad in the corner somewhere.
Right.
Like I know somebody like that would be so awesome. So I could
Right.
have live stats during.
Oh
So
yeah.
great. Well,
Ball game struck her out. Final Whale Branch 42, Lake Marion 33. Softball.
And we will see them. We will see
Gotta
them
love
next
it.
Friday night. For the rematch
75
game.
points. What did they finish at?
God.
Solo 6? 75 points?
Yeah, 75. Solo 6th. Almost made the top
God.
5 all time.
Damn.
Crazy work.
That's crazy.
Oh man. I don't know
That's
if
a
I can
lot.
handle getting myself into one of those. That's crazy. Oh my God. But last round of sponsors, we got Base Hit Life, baseball and softball themed apparel like the hoodie you often see Max wearing that says "Calm Your Mitts." A lot of good styles, cool styles over at basehitlife.com. So go live your best Base Hit Life. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor, find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, getting your floors so clean your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Any parting thoughts for us, our visitor, Javon Livingston?
Parting thoughts. This region, you never know. You never know.
No.
So I'm starting to see, girls soccer might be hitting head in Bishop, England. Softball, that Colleton County, who's kind of been at the bottom of all sports. Collins softball, they might have it. May River, 14-1 over Beaufort tonight.
Yep.
That's big, but a close loss to what? At Bishop England, 5-3.
Yep.
5-3. That's on the schedule, by the way. The home game.
Oh, nice. Bishop England got Bluffton tonight 2-0 in the boys.
That's closer than I thought it would be.
That's close. That's real close.
Yep.
Okay.
Played them tough.
So,
how many walks in total? 81 if you include hit by pitches. Lake Marion issued 35 walks and 8 hit by pitches. Whale Branch in total with 27 walks and 11 hit by pitches.
Max, have some couth.
No, man. I can't.
I can't even hardly laugh because we had 24 or 23 in 2 innings last night. So
yeah, I shouldn't be.
It's a bad feeling when you only really got 1 or 2 pitchers and they don't have it. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
I know I shouldn't be laughing, but just to hear those numbers is just something you don't hear every day.
But you know what?
Is it too late to schedule a last-minute spring break tournament?
My girl Jones came in on relief. She threw 216 pitches and she got a W. She got the win. Actually, they gave her the save, but she should have got the win. The girl who only got 1
Get some ice, man. Get some ice for that.
Eat a W. Eat a W today.
Jones throws it hard too. She throws it hard.
Eat a W today.
That's right. They'll never forget this one. They'll never forget this one. I guarantee
Eat a
you that.
W
They will
today.
remember this one forever. Congrats, Coach Reed, on a hard-fought win. I hope you have some hair left on your head and your heart's still beating because that one was wild. Max, any parting thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, May River soccer is continuing to be on a tear. I mean, over the last week they've defeated a nationally ranked program in Richmond Hill.
Yeah.
On top of that, they've really been nonstop, and then tonight's win was just too easy for them, and it is a region game. So they are on a tear, and it's going to be hard to stop them on that tear. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see how the Bishop England game goes when it comes around
Right.
because, oh
You
boy,
can see it on
I have a
Beaufort's
feeling.
own.
Yeah, it will be. I'm
I bet
excited.
they have all their big games.
Yeah. And then Hardyville Hurricanes baseball. We played well tonight. We lost, but I'm very excited about what we're doing over there. And then to finish it out, I got to shout out Lucas O'Grady and what he's done with that Hilton Head Prep boys, varsity boys soccer team as a whole. That program has really turned around this season, and I cannot wait to see how their season continues as well. Shout out to Lucas, man. We're gonna get you on the show one night, man,
Yeah,
because
man.
we got to talk with you about this whole process and how you have gotten this team to play as well as they have over the last almost month or so.
Yeah, they're on a roll. Well, I got a little somber parting thought. Shared it with you guys this weekend, but Brett Gardner, the former New York Yankees outfielder, pretty vibrant personality, well known when he played the game. I've talked a lot about getting to know him a little bit, coaching against his son's team that we play against pretty frequently, the Palmetto Panthers. His son Miller, who's my son Truman's age, 14 years old, passed away over the weekend. Just tragic. Family was on vacation in Costa Rica. The latest reporting shows that a number of the traveling party got sick from some food they were served, and Miller did not recover and passed away at age 14. So just an awful, awful thing, and certainly something that it hit close to home for me because we've actually played against those kids, but against him, and so when it's your kid's age and a kid that you see as your kid's peer, that hits a little different. But no matter what, it's just so sad. The thought of losing a child in the prime of their life, not even to the prime of their life yet. Just want to remind everybody to first send condolences to the Gardeners and everybody who cared about Miller, and the folks at Pinewood Prep because he played multiple sports at Pinewood Prep. But also just remind you to cherish every day. I mean, tomorrow is never guaranteed. Make the most out of today, and make sure the people you love let them know. That's the biggest thing for me. But it's tough, man. I don't know what to say other than it's a hard world out there, and there's a lot of adversity, and we got to keep our heads up and keep pushing through and focusing on the good things. And I'm grateful that that we crossed paths, that we got to know Miller a little bit and got to know Brett a little bit. But it's just so sad, and like Libby said, it's impossible to make sense of losing a kid, and then you're not supposed to die on vacation, man. That's
Yeah,
supposed to
no,
be
that's
immune. Supposed to be in a bubble when you're on vacation.
First of
That's
all,
crazy.
when you talk about food poisoning, Max is over there like, yeah, that's crazy.
Munching down on his noodles.
That's
hey,
crazy, man. Not
I'm
good
eating.
timing, Max.
Well, you don't want to go to the
Hey,
hospital in
people,
Costa
man.
Rica. That's not a great
But I mean,
situation.
I
Yeah.
see the videos though, and I'm talking as a non-passport having adult. Um, Man, I see the video sometimes of them putting together food in some of these places. And obviously, you have your more civilized places with better food and
Yeah,
health regulations, obviously.
yeah,
But
right.
you're going out to these places. They do all these places that try to get tourists to buy. Buy this, buy that,
Yeah,
buy that. Then you go out there and you're gonna try food because it's the locals, and
yeah,
And man, listen, things they be putting together, bro. It does not look appetizing Or even if it does, it's like, hold on, wait, he didn't. His hand
He
though,
did
he
what
just
now?
sneezed and this white hand, and it's like, hold on, wait a minute,
Just
bro.
ripped 2
Wait a minute.
wads of meat off of that spit. What in the world?
Yeah, just
Uh,
whipped it up. Like that
yeah.
Indian street meat. Oh
And
man,
you don't want to go to the hospital in a developing nation. That's always a
I,
gamble.
I
And
I'm just gonna say this because we have lost quite a few people this past year.
God dang.
And who are friends of our show.
Tangentially, yeah, like that we know, like in some
Yeah,
way or another.
people
Yeah.
that we care about, and we have
Yeah.
lost a lot over the last year. And man, it never gets easier
It
with this
doesn't.
stuff, and it's really sad. And when I saw the news over the weekend, I was horrified because we have talked about Miller and his team more than
Yep.
once on the show.
Yep.
We've talked about your stories with Brett every time you guys meet up
Yep.
at Shipyard. And
Yeah, the last
it's
time we
just,
saw him, he signed one of our kids' cast, who was a big Yankees fan
yeah,
and had broken his arm. So
yeah, and so it's just, this is not how you want to lose someone, man.
it's
It is really hard to lose someone like that in the way that they did.
well,
And
yeah, just so
I saw
unexpected.
how I read how it happened, and I mean that is hard, man. That
Tragic.
is really hard
Tragic.
to deal with. And so, our thoughts and prayers go out with Brett Gardner and his family, man. And they're
Yeah.
definitely going to need those thoughts and prayers because this is not something. I've said this before. Because when we dealt with the loss of Tim, and
Yep.
I dealt with the loss of my good friend Jake. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. That is something no parent should ever go through.
No,
Is losing their child. It is
can't
not,
imagine.
and
Not
it's
supposed to
something
bury
that,
your kids.
yeah, it's not something that any parent should ever have to do in their lifetime, is lose their
No.
kid. And
Tragic.
so I'm our thoughts and prayers go out with them because they definitely need it. Because this is, again, it's not something anyone should have to go through, and through the way it had happened. So yeah,
For now.
yeah, it was very shocking to see this weekend that news come across the tabloids, I guess would be a way to put it, and across the
Yeah.
news.
Well, I mean, On3 was first reported, I think. No, I forget who it was. But the Yankees put out a statement through the Gardeners. The Gardeners
Yes,
put out a
they did.
statement through the Yankees. So that's kind of how it got out. But yeah, I was hit pretty hard by it. I started getting messages on Saturday about it. And, it's pretty blown away because again, we had gotten to know them a little bit. So it's pretty
I would
crazy.
love to see.
And they live in Charleston. So
Yeah, I would love to see the Yankees be able to honor Miller in some
I
way.
suspect they'll do something. I suspect they'll
what
do something.
I
Yeah.
think they will, and I think it'd be very important for the Gardner family to
Yeah.
know that they have family through the world of
Yeah.
baseball and the world of sports and outside of
Yeah.
sports who care about their family and know that, hey,
Yeah.
we got your back.
Yeah.
Whatever you need,
They're
we'll
definitely
be there
seeing
for you.
that through the social media outpouring and stuff too, which
Right.
is there's a lot of bad about social media, but that's one of the good things is that we can all show love to those who need it in a moment,
Right.
of need. So, well, hey boys, good show tonight. Javon, thanks for hanging out. Always fun when you stop by. I know you're a busy man, but we enjoy when you make time to talk with us. Max, always a good time. We'll have Wes back later this week. I suspect we will have a show tomorrow night because I'm not booked up. So we should be good for tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to all of you who showed up to listen or watch. For Javon Livingston and Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco!